guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angela and I make faith-based videos for girls. And in today's video, I thought it'd be fun to do a Q&A, a little girl talk Q&A chat, because I feel like it's just been a while since the last time I did one, and I thought it'd just be fun to do. So I asked you guys to ask me questions on my Instagram, which if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I'll put it right here. If you guys ever want your questions to be included in the next Q&A, feel free to just send me a DM. A few of you also asked questions in the comments on my YouTube, so I'll be going through those as well. But before getting started, I am going to make myself a quick drink. I am in my home office right now, so I'm actually gonna get ready while I do these questions because I am going to be getting ready for work. So I'm working from home, but I have a client meeting later today that I need to go on video for, and so I'm gonna have to have my makeup done just to look presentable. And so I'm going to be doing my makeup, just getting ready while answering your questions. But yeah, first I'm gonna make a quick drink and then we can get right into it. So normally I like to start my mornings with a green juice, but I don't always have the time to make one every morning, and so I'll show you what I make instead. So instead of my normal green juice, I'm just gonna be making like an instant quick one in this water bottle, and I'm going to be using the TEAMI Greens Superfood Blend, and it has matcha in it, so I'm hoping that it gives me a lot of energy to start the day, but it's also super healthy. It has spirulina, wheatgrass, spinach powder, kale powder, kelp powder, just a lot of good things. So I like using this when I just need like a quick little green juice to get in my body in the morning. Alright guys, I got my green juice ready to take on the day and get ready. I'm just gonna be going over some of the questions that you guys asked in no particular order as I get ready. So the first question is, are there certain styles of clothing that you don't wear as a Christian? I love your videos, they're so helpful and encouraging. Thank you so much, Abby, that's so sweet. Also, there's a question similar to that one, and it says, how has being a Christian impacted the way you dress? I struggle with modesty sometimes. So I think that this is an important thing to talk about, and maybe I'll make a whole dedicated video about this one day on my channel, but I do think it is important to be mindful of the way you dress, because it's not only how you dress yourself, but it's also will impact how others view you and just like what you represent. And well, first I'm gonna go in with this BB cream and get started on my makeup. Has it impacted the way I dress? It definitely has. I mean, I think there was a time back in like high school and even like early college where I just kind of wore whatever, and whatever made me feel good. And honestly, like if I'm being honest, like sometimes the way I would like dress to go to like hang out with friends or like party sometimes would be in order to like impress someone of the opposite sex, whether it was like a guy that I was into or just wanting to get attention. So I definitely know where you're coming from with that. However, as a Christian, I am more mindful in the way I dress. I think now I don't wear clothes that are too revealing, and I don't wear, you know, super low cut shirts or like super short skirts. I don't really wear anything that draws attention to my body, because first, I'm like, I would feel uncomfortable because I would just feel, you know, convicted. I feel like it would be almost like baiting the wrong type of attention. And then second, think about it for someone else too. In order to be loving to other people, you don't want to cause other people potentially to stumble and to think lustful thoughts, or you know what I mean? So just be mindful with the way you dress. Long answer short, being a Christian has impacted the way I dress, in that I don't wear clothes that I know are, you know, going to draw the wrong type of attention. And there's a lot of like cute clothes that are very modest that, you know, I mean, I like fashion and makeup and like all the girly things, and I feel like I'm still able to like enjoy that and to like have fun picking out clothes and shopping while still being modest. Okay, and then the second question is, can you touch on relationships and dating, please? And then I got another question asking, are you dating anyone? And I am not dating anyone right now. I have been single for pretty much over a year now, I think. And I'm not like, you know, I'm not closed off to dating. I am open to it if I meet the right guy, but right now in my life, dating is just not my priority. And I'm only 24, and so I feel like I'm still young. Also, this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser in light to pale, but I just put this like under my eyes to help brighten up this area. But yeah, I'm not dating anyone, and I don't feel the rush to be dating right now in my life. I am very focused on my career, my job, my friends, my family, my YouTube channel, just like getting closer to God, walking in my purpose. I feel like the right guy will come at the right time, and I do want to eventually be married and have kids and a family one day, but I just feel like there's no rush, and that God's timing is perfect. And I also feel like, to touch on, you know, relationships and dating a little bit more, I feel like who you date is such an important decision. Like, I feel like a lot of people, and I am so guilty of doing this in the past, will date people just to be like, oh, I just want a boyfriend, oh, I'm lonely, I just want to date someone, I just want to go on dates, have someone to be with, have someone to cuddle, and to just not be alone. But what we don't realize sometimes is who you date is someone that you eventually will become, you know, attached to, and dating is a pathway that leads to marriage ultimately. I wouldn't date anyone that I don't at least see a future with, just because I'm lonely or just because I want a boyfriend. And I also wouldn't want to get myself attached to someone that I know it's not going to work out with in the long run, and then just kind of have it be wasted time. Which, dating someone is never wasted time, because I feel like you learn something with every relationship. But I am at a point in my life right now where I feel like I do know what I want. There's certain deal breakers that I have with guys. First off, you know, they definitely have to be a Christian. They have to love Jesus. We have to be aligned on our faith and values, and I'm not willing to compromise on that. So yeah, I just think for me, there's no rush right now, and it's such a big decision, you know, because who you date could eventually be your future husband and the future father of your children, and so it's not a decision to just make lightly. So yeah, not currently dating anyone, but those are kind of like my thoughts on dating. I can go more in detail about this, but yeah, I would just say, like, know what you're looking for, have some deal breakers, don't lower your standards, and trust in God's perfect timing. Okay, the next question says, hey Angela, as a Christian, is it okay to watch TV shows and movies that are secular and have ungodly ideas in them? I don't watch things that are rated R, but I do enjoy watching things that are PG-13. Thank you. So I do have some thoughts on this. I think in general, yes, definitely be careful about the things that you watch, especially things that are more worldly, and pay attention to, you know, the Holy Spirit inside of you. If you're watching a show and you're just feeling convicted, like, oh, this is just not a great show for me to watch, it's making me feel weird, it's making me, you know, think bad thoughts, it's just, you know, not feeding my soul. Be mindful of the shows that you watch 100%. And I think it also goes back to just guarding your heart. And I have a whole video on that I'll put right here, but guarding your heart, you know, is not only in like dating or in relationships, but it's also in like the things that you allow yourself to see, to hear, to be exposed to, the things that you're opening your heart and your mind to. And that can include TV shows, that can include the music you listen to, the TV shows you watch, the podcasts you listen to. So just be mindful of what you're allowing yourself to consume and take in. So yeah, I would say just do as you feel led. There's certain shows I know that I've had to stop watching because every time I watched those shows, I would just feel convicted. So do as you feel led for the specific shows and movies and everything that you are watching. Okay, the next question is, what does your quiet time routine with the Lord look like? I would say in general, what it looks like, I'm gonna start putting on my eyeshadow. I'm just gonna be using my bronzer as my eyeshadow. It's just like a brown that I put. But in general, my quiet time is in the morning, because I feel like that's the best, like, uninterrupted time where I can start my day with God. And I usually start with a devotional. I'm currently doing Unshakable by Christine Kane, her devotional. Usually starts with a devotional, a prayer, and then I read a part of the Bible. And I'm planning on doing a more in-depth video on how I read and study the Bible, because a lot of you have asked me, so keep an eye out for that video soon. But yeah, I normally just pray, read the Bible, go through a devotional, put on some worship music, just spending time in the presence of God. And I feel like this is something that is so important to me. On days where I, you know, rush through it or skip it, I can literally see and feel a difference in that day. I just think it's a great way to start off your day in the right perspective with a thankful, joyful heart, praising God, thanking Him for everything that He's given you, giving Him control and surrendering my day to Him is a great way for me to start the day. So my quiet time with God is usually in the morning. Okay, the next question is, how do you stay firm in your faith when they are unpopular or unaccepted by society / communities? Love you and your videos. I love you too, girl. But yes, how do you stay firm in your faith? I love that question because honestly, as a Christian, not everyone is going to share the same beliefs and values as you, and you know, we should expect that. I mean, we're called to go out into all the world and make disciples of Jesus and to be a light in the world. We should be expectant of that and try to love them and to show them the light, to show them the way. And I think, you know, aside from like sitting down and telling someone about Jesus, one of the best ways to show people about our God and how great our God is and the good news of the gospel is to first just live your life in front of them in such a way where they notice that something is different about her. Something is different about the way she speaks to people, the way she loves people, the way that she treats other people. You know, people who may not be a Christian that know you're a Christian, they're watching the way you live your life, and I feel like that in and of itself speaks volumes. But to answer your question is how to stand firm in your faith when maybe not everyone around you shares your same beliefs and values. And I have, you know, totally been there. I think the first thing I would say is to make sure you are consistently spending time with God, consistently spending time developing your relationship with Jesus, because everything pours out from your quiet time. Your faith, your trust in God, the way you treat people, the way you represent yourself as a Christian comes from your personal relationship with God. So if that's not there, then everything else will kind of crumble, because you need a solid foundation, a solid relationship with God for yourself to be the foundation for when you have to stand strong in your beliefs and you have to stand strong in your values. So spend lots of time with God, one-on-one time with God, developing a relationship with Him, growing your faith on your own in your quiet place, so that when you then go out into the world, you feel much stronger from within. And then the second thing I would say to standing firm in your faith is be in godly community, because that is a game changer. Who you surround yourself with truly matters, and you become more and more like them. So if you're surrounding yourself with other believers who are also on fire for God, who share your same faith, share your same values, and are going to encourage you, speak life and truth and purpose into you, then you're going to be much more likely to not only do the same for them, but to be even stronger in your own faith. So who you surround yourself with matters. So think about, you know, who you're spending time with on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, as Christians, like, we still need to be friends with non-believers. It's not like we only need to have Christian friends, but I'm talking about, you know, who you allow in your inner circle to really speak into your life. Make sure those people are chosen carefully. Okay, and that kind of goes into the next question, which is, what is your advice for finding godly friends in a good Christian community? And then there's another question that says, hi, what is the best way to make godly friends? It's hard to find them nowadays. And oh my gosh, I totally feel you on that. First, I'm gonna go in and do my eyeliner with, this is Rimmel London in Rich Brown. It's the Exaggerate waterproof eyeliner. So I'm just gonna put this on my lower waterline. And then I'm going to go in with this NYX vinyl liquid liner in black on my top lids. And I do have a video on godly friendships and how to make godly friends, and so I will put that in the description. And I talk about, you know, how to be a godly friend, how to make godly friends, where to find godly friends. So my advice on finding godly friends and the best way to make godly friends is to make sure that you're putting yourselves in environments where you can meet people with similar shared values and beliefs as you. So a great place to do that is church. So whether it's meeting someone, you know, in service, through friends of friends, or like in a Bible study through your church, which I highly recommend. If your church has, you know, small groups or life groups, definitely sign up for one that's in your area with girls that are, you know, similar to your age. That's a great way to make friends. And that's honestly how I met a lot of my best friends in Chicago, is through my Bible study group from my church, and also through like serving. So I'm on the kids ministry team at my church, but there's so many other teams at each church that you can serve on that gives you the opportunity to meet people who also, you know, share your values and beliefs, who want to serve the Lord and who are interested in doing similar things that you want to do. So put yourself out there in environments like church where you can meet people and meet friends, and also just show yourself to be friendly. So when you see someone new, or like someone that you think would be good friends with you, go up to them, introduce yourself, give them a compliment, just be nice to them. You'd be surprised at, you know, how many people are going to be so pleasantly surprised to have someone else come up to them and just like strike a conversation with them. And I feel like that's also so fun to do, is to just meet new people, have conversations, and to just be nice to people, and who knows who you will meet, you know? So put yourself in good environments where you are able to meet more godly people, and then also when you're in those environments, show yourself to be nice and friendly and warm. And the thing is, God wants us to be in godly community. So if you are putting yourself out there and trying to make friends, you're gonna put yourself in a much better position to find your people. Okay, and the next question is, how do you find who you are in Christ during a tough emotional time in your life, and how do you stay connected to God through the confusion? So I love this question because I feel like I was brought so much closer to God, and I really grew in my faith when I was going through a tough time emotionally. And for those of you who are new to my channel, what really brought me closer to God was this heartbreak that I had after a breakup with my boyfriend of 3 years on and off. When we broke up, I was just so lost, so broken, didn't really know who I was anymore without him, and you know, I was just so sad. And during that time, I really clung to God, and he really, you know, showed me his love and took care of me in that season. And I started reading my Bible and just fell in love with this God who gave up everything so that we could have a relationship with him, who cares so much about all of the details in our lives, and who will leave the 99 to come after our heart. I just really fell in love with God's character and who he is, to the point where I was like, okay, I want to, you know, live my life for Jesus. I want to show God that I love him and, you know, give my life to him too. So yeah, I would say my heartbreak was definitely a tough emotional time for me, where I really was able to get closer to God. And I also do have a video on how to get through heartbreak. But yeah, that was definitely a very, very special time for me. I feel like that's when my relationship with God just like blossomed, because he was the only one that was really, truly there for me during that time. And, you know, I just feel like when we go through hardships in life, yes, they're hard, but they're also an opportunity to trust God and to get closer to your maker. But the question is, how do you find who you are in Christ during a tough emotional time? And to that, I would just say, spend time with God. Be in the word daily, pray to him, journal your heart out to him, immerse yourself in his word, and to see how time and time again, all throughout the Bible, God always comes through for his people. When you read the Bible and you are, you know, meditating and reflecting on God's character through his love and kindness and forgiveness, and just the way that he cares so specifically for us, then you'll be able to just rest in the midst of the confusion, knowing that God's got you, that God is the only one that you can truly rely on and lean on, that Jesus is our rock, and that whatever you are going through, that God is in control. And I think through spending time with God, journaling to him, praying to him, and reading the Bible, it'll just affirm who he is in your heart, and you'll begin to really acknowledge and appreciate his character and be able to depend on that and lean on that through whatever storm you're going through. And also be in godly community. Surround yourself with friends that speak life into you, who will encourage you in your faith, and who you know will be there for you. You can call them at night, you can call them whenever, and they will be there for you. Oh my gosh, I need to remember to keep doing my makeup. I'm going in with this Lash Princess mascara in, I think it's just the black color, but I love this mascara, and it's only like $3 or $4 on Amazon. Yeah, this is such a great mascara. And I've had it forever, which I feel like I should replace my mascaras, because aren't you only supposed to have it for like 2 or 3 months and then throw it out? Because I've definitely had this mascara for quite some time. And the next question is, how do I not be ashamed to talk about Jesus around friends who don't really care about their faith, even though they're Christian? And I feel like this is a tough one, because you don't want to come off like you're judging them, or you know, that you're better than them. You want to still be loving, and you want to encourage them. So try to not feel ashamed to talk about Jesus. Try to just incorporate Jesus in your conversation, and especially if they identify themselves as Christian, hopefully they're not going to be like, whoa, why are you talking about Jesus? It should just be a part of your everyday life. You know, you can talk about, this is what I feel like God has been doing in my life recently, what he's taught me recently. Like, those are regular types of conversations that you should have with your friends. Or, you know, ask them, how can I pray for you? Like, are you going, like, what's going on in your life? How's work been? How has your relationship been? You know, how's your parents? How's your mom? Ask them about their lives, and like, you know, everyone's going through some stuff. Everyone has things that they're going through. And so you can say, you know, if there's anything I can pray about for you, like, let me know. Definitely want to, like, you know, keep me updated on this and this happening in your life. I'll definitely be praying for you. And try to just encourage them. And you said in your questions, specifically for friends who don't really care about their faith, even though they're Christian. So, you know, I would not only try and incorporate Jesus into your conversations, but just try to encourage them. You know, try to be kind and loving to them, and ask questions about their lives so that they can open up a little bit more to you. Once they open up to you, then you can then incorporate Jesus into the conversation. And also, like, you know, you can invite them over, invite them to go to church with you, invite them to get brunch, and just like try and be closer to them. And, you know, I feel like everyone eventually, like, if you talk to someone long enough, like, you'll hear about a difficulty that's in their life or something that they're currently going through. And at that time, like, you know, you can ask, how can I pray for you? Or like, just encourage them with scripture, things like that. Just little ways where you can then encourage them and incorporate Jesus into the conversation, and hopefully push them closer to God. Okay, I'm gonna go in with some bronzer. And then the next question is, how do you move on from someone completely and truly guard your heart? And I think this is probably talking about like a relationship. So like after a breakup, I would say like one of the most important things you can do to move on and truly guard your heart after a breakup is to really limit / cut off your communication with that person, because the more you communicate after a breakup, the harder it is to move on from someone and truly start your own healing process, because that has to be done by yourself, not with the other person. So if you're still, you know, talking to that person every now and then, like, that's only going to draw out the healing process and make it harder to get over them. So what really helped me was to, you know, cut ties with them, still in a loving way. Like, it doesn't have to be like abrupt and be like, I'm blocking you forever. But like, for example, I had to tell my ex, like, hey, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be blocking you on social media, just because, you know, I feel like I need to do this for my own healing. And he was like, yeah, no, I completely understand. Like, that would be smart to do. And you know, I think that's also another way to guard your heart, so that they're not just showing up in your feed and everywhere you look and being constantly reminded of them when you're trying to heal and move forward. So definitely do what you need to kind of sever ties, even if it's just for a certain amount of time, just to prioritize your healing and to move on in a healthy way. And also to like heal your heart and move on is to get close to God, because God is the ultimate healer. And it says that he takes the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. And so I would just say in that period of time, especially when you might be feeling lost and broken and just sad, to really lean on God's love, because human love is imperfect and it'll come and go, but God's love is eternal and it is perfect. So you can never get your heart broken with God. And so after my, you know, breakup, I really leaned into my relationship with God, and I found peace and joy and rest there. So yeah, that would be my top 2 advice. Okay, and the next question is where to look in the Bible for social anxiety help. And I'll share a verse that truly gets me through so many things when I'm anxious about it, whether it's social anxiety or just anxiety about an upcoming meeting or an upcoming event or anything like that. This is a verse that I always go to, and it's Isaiah 41:10, and it says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And every time I say that, I declare it over the situation that I'm in, and I imagine God saying it to me specifically, to not fear because he is with me, and it's always such a good reminder. And then another one I love is 1 Peter 5:7, and it says, "Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you." And just let that sink in. Like, God cares for you. He cares about you and whatever is going on in your life, in your heart. So give him your anxieties, cast it to him. Just knowing that he cares so much about you gives me so much peace. And another one that's one of my go-tos is Philippians 4:6, and it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." So it's another reminder to give it to God and to pray through your anxiety and just try and still be thankful through it all, because when you have a thankful heart, you're going to be less anxious. So those are just a few for me. I know your question was on social anxiety in general, but all those I feel like apply, at least for me, for any time I'm really feeling anxious, even when I'm, feeling anxious about a social event or something like that. I also just remember that in social settings, when you're meeting new people or, you have to talk to someone new, just remember that underneath it all, every single person just wants to be loved and understood. So when you kind of like get to the root of that we're all human and that we all just want to be loved and understood at the end of the day, it helps you to kind of like let your guard down when you're talking to people, when you're meeting new people, so that in social settings, you can just try and share the love of God and to try to just exude love to other people and try to make others feel loved and understood. And I feel like for me, that really eases any anxiety that I may have about being social. Okay, hopefully this video isn't getting too long. Okay, and the next question is, what is something you have learned that you wish you could have told your younger self? And I love this question because I feel like I have done a lot of reflecting recently, and when I think about like how I used to be in like high school, middle school, just like when I was younger, I feel like I was constantly searching for my identity, worth, and value in other people and in other things. And what I would tell myself if I could go back and have a conversation with my younger self is that your identity and worth and value is already decided, and it's unchangeable, and it is in Jesus Christ and what he did for you on the cross and how much God cares about you and loves you. And that is where your identity is from, first and foremost, not in what other people think, who in this world likes you, what your titles or what people label you as. Your identity, first and foremost, is a child of God, and to get your confidence through that. Because I feel like when I was growing up, and even now sometimes I have to like be careful, it's so easy to get your worth and value from the things of this world, on your accomplishments and how many people like you and just what other people think of you, when in reality that doesn't decide our worth. What other people say and all our earthly titles and accomplishments don't decide our worth. Our worth doesn't go up and down based on that. Our worth is already decided by Jesus. And that's something that I really wish I would have known growing up, because I feel like I wouldn't have tried so hard to work for the approval of others and to be insecure and just not wanting to, stay true to myself in certain situations. I wish I would have known, like, Angela, you are already so loved and so worthy and so valued by God. So don't try and look for it in someone else. Find it within yourself. Find it from God. Okay, and then the last question I'll do today, so sweet for asking, but it says, how are you, and is there anything we can pray for you about? Thank you so much for asking. That is so sweet and really means a lot to me. I am doing well for the most part. I actually just got my COVID vaccine yesterday, the first dose, and so hopefully things are going back to normal soon. Something that you can pray for me about is one, that I would just, you know, steward this channel well and to, you know, continue to be faithful to God and in my purpose and calling, and to, you know, always stand firm in my faith. And then also my grandparents on my mom's side, they actually live in China, and you know, they're getting older and I haven't really seen them in a while, and I really want to visit them. I was supposed to visit them last year, but obviously with COVID and everything, I couldn't really travel internationally, so I'm hoping to just be able to go and visit them with my mom as soon as possible so that I can see them soon, because my grandparents and I were really close and I do miss them a lot. So yeah, I would just appreciate prayers on that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Also, I forgot to mention, so I also wanted to do this Q&A because I recently hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that just blows my mind. Like, so crazy for me to even think about. But I'm just so thankful for each and every person who takes the time to watch my videos, and I truly hope that it is actually helping you. Like, that is my heart behind starting my YouTube channel. That is my heart behind making these videos, is to hopefully truly help girls grow in their faith and grow in their own individual relationships with God, because that truly shapes, you know, the rest of your life is your relationship with your creator, your maker, who loves you unconditionally. And so that's always been the goal of my channel, is to just point girls in that direction and to help them hopefully grow in their faith. And so I hope that these videos are encouraging for you guys. But thank you so much for watching and for always just being so nice and so supportive. It means more to me than you guys will ever know, and I truly enjoy making these videos, and it's really fun for me to make as well. So I just want to say thank you for helping me reach 3,000 subscribers, and I'm just so thankful for each and every one of you. But yeah, that's all the questions I'm going to answer in this video. If you ever have any other questions, feel free to DM me in my Instagram below. I love talking to you guys on there, and if you like Q&A videos or more of these just like casual videos, please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more faith-based videos like this. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'm about to start work, but I will see you guys in my next video.